Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy FOR-GIT Gaming coming at you with another video here on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the patch notes for Rainbow Six Siege. So a couple changes to some of the operators and things like that. We're going to give our opinion on it. You don't have to go off our opinion. Alright, everybody, like I say, I like saying this at the beginning of every one of our videos. Everybody has their own opinion. Some people may agree with what I'm saying, some people may not. Some people may agree with what Jinxie says, some people may. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, y'all got your own opinions, okay? But like I said, we're gonna go over the information. We're gonna kind of give our opinion here of what we feel is happening to the operators here and things like that. So we're going to go over to the operators. We're gonna go one by one. So first things first, okay? Let's go over the patch note size. For those who may have not downloaded the patch note yet, or the patch yet, alright, so for Steam, 860 megabytes, Xbox One, 1.1 gigabytes, Xbox Series X, 10.73 gigabytes, PlayStation 4, 1.4 gigabytes, PlayStation 5, 1.34 gigabytes, Ubisoft Connect, 935 megabytes. Alright, those are your download sizes for your things, okay? First, we're going to start off with Azami, okay? Azami is the first one we're going to start off with. Those are the first changes here inside the patch notes. Got to turn my phone back on because it keeps shutting off like an idiot. Alright. So, we're going to go over to defense, and we're going to go down to Azami. Now, Azami, okay, if you don't know what her loadout is, Azami has the Kiba barrier, alright? And she runs a 9x19 VSN as a primary, or that ACS 12 shotgun. Alright, secondary is that D50. It's gonna be that 50 caliber deagle, or pistol as they call it here. I call it a deagle because it is a deagle. Alright, but Azami's changes here are increased damage from high caliber handguns and revolvers by 10%. Increased damage received by medium caliber SMGs and ARs by 10%, and increased damage received by high caliber ARs and LMGs by 5%. Alright, now, I just want to say, me personally, I don't really use Azami a whole lot, so we are just going to take a stab in the dark with her, okay? We're going to say, alright, where it says increased damage from high caliber handguns and revolvers by 10%. Okay. We're pretty much assuming here that, number one, she's either going to be taking more damage from those, or it's her guns herself that got the damage buff. Like I said, I don't really use her a whole lot, so I don't pay attention to the damage of her guns. Okay? But you guys can figure that one out. Now, Ayana is one that we do use, okay? Now, this is my thing. Alright? I'm not really a fan. I'm not really a fan of these changes here, okay? I'm really not. Alright, we're gonna go to attackers. We're gonna go down to Ayana. Alright. Now, if you don't know what Ayana's loadout is, okay? Ayana has the ability to bring out a clone of herself and runs around like an actual person. Alright? Things like that. You can use to trick people, things like that, into thinking that, you know, they got an enemy running up on them or something like that. Alright. With Ayana, the changes is added impact EMP grenade and removed stun grenades. Alright. This EMP used to not be here. Now she has an EMP and smokes. Okay. Me personally, she turned more into a support op, in my opinion. Alright, she's still good at grabbing intel, but I feel like with this equipment that she's been given right here, she's more down the lanes of a support op. Alright. Now, does that mean her presence is gonna change? Maybe, maybe not. I don't see a big change in the presence. I feel like she still might be picked. I don't feel she's extremely like situational at this point right now, okay? I don't think she's gone to that stage, but I mean, I still think she's gonna get picked, but it's gonna be one of those situations where you know, if you don't have a Thatcher or something like that, or Thatcher's banned, then you might see her come in, take his place, things like that, because she's got the EMP. And in all honesty, out of all the operators that have an EMP, I'd probably side more with Ayana than, you know, somebody else. Okay, not saying that Lion isn't a good pick or anything like that, but I will say, I feel like she's got the better gun, she's got the better scope, she's got she's got the better loadout. All right, in the long run. Now Knock, okay, attacker as well. All right, Knock has the ability. We might be saying that wrong. If we're butchering it, we apologize. All right, she's got the ability to go invisible. She's like a Vigil, except on attack, okay? The way she works is, you know, you click the ability, she goes invisible. You can run through the building at that point, or go through the building at that point without being spotted by cameras, okay? Now, she runs a loadout of an FMG9, all right? And for the other primary, a 612 SD, okay? She also runs, just like Valkyrie and, you know, a few of the other operators inside the game, she runs the D50, all right? A Deagle, all right? She runs that 50 caliber Deagle. And then, if you don't want that as a secondary, she's got a 5.7 USG pistol. Now, Knock's loadout. Turn on the phone again. All right. She also has gadgets. She's got 3 different gadgets you can use, okay? She's got an EMP like Ayana just got today. She's also got a frag, and she's also got a heat breach charge. All right. The thing that's gotten changed on her is not actually in her loadout. The thing that's gotten changed on her is her ability. Her oh my god, yeah. Her HEL presence. We're gonna butcher it if we try to say it. I don't know if it's pronounced hell or not, but we're just gonna say her HEL presence. All right, her HEL presence reduction, duration, and cooldown increased to 30 seconds from 20. So that means when you use her ability, instead of it being 20 seconds, now you have to wait 10 seconds longer for that ability to come back, which means you're gonna have to be a little more strategic with her. You don't have, you know, you don't have as long, or you gotta wait longer now to sit there and actually wait for that ability to come back. Okay, so with that being said, all right, because this says the duration and cooldown was increased. So the duration of the ability and the cooldown have been increased. So the thing is now you've got a double-edged, I'd say double-edged sword here. Okay, you can sit here and you can run it. You can run it like, you know, you always have, but like I said, you got to take into consideration now you've got a longer cooldown. Even though your thing lasts a little longer, it lasts about 10 seconds longer, now you got that 10 seconds extra of a cooldown because they've added that 10 seconds in to the ability. All right, so like I said, I feel like just because, okay, and I've already seen her being picked a little more because of that 10 second duration. 10 seconds in a round in Siege, in all honesty, is quite a bit of time, in my opinion, I will say. Okay. The thing is with that being increased and stuff like that, and her getting that little bit of a buff right there, all right, I feel like you might see a little more of a presence of her. All right, you just might see a little more of a presence because that 10 seconds added on to that ability kind of makes it a little more even, especially if you got like a Vigil on the board. Because Vigil, I can't remember how long his lasts, but it lasts a little bit for him. So you could see if you see a Vigil being played, you could see, you know, the opposite team bringing a Knock or something like that to actually, you know, combat that a little more. All right, Orcs is on defense. Orcs has also been hit inside this as well. Okay, and we're gonna go over Orcs here. Oh boy, oh boy. Orcs actually got a little bit of a buff here. All right, Orcs runs the loadout of a T5 SMG for a primary, or you have the option, if you don't want to go with that, of a Spaz 12. All right, for a secondary, he runs a USP-40. That's his pistol. For the other secondary, he runs a Bailiff 410. Alright? For his gadgets, he runs a barbed wire and then proximity alarm. Proximity alarm. Wow, we almost messed that word up. Alright, what has been updated with orcs, or what this buff is with orcs, is his dash. Alright? His dash now destroys deployable and talon shields. Alright? So you can now break through, you can pretty much break through the metal shields you can put down on the ground. And I'm pretty sure the talent shields are, if I am not mistaken, I want to say those are, we're gonna go back and we're gonna double check, but I am pretty sure talent shields. Give us 1 second. We're gonna check and see what talent shields are real quick. Give me 1 second. We'll be right back with you guys. Alright, we're back with you guys. So after looking up what talent shields are, we did figure out what the talent shields are. So the talent shields are Osa's shield. So he can break through deployable shields, and he can now also break through Osa's talent shield. So the thing is that kind of right there, that's kind of a big buff, a big buff for him. Okay, that's more. See, that gives more plant denial, in so many ways. Because a lot of people like bringing Osa, because before you could plant behind this shield, and you literally could be non-contested. Because in all honesty, orcs couldn't break through the shields. Orcs can now break through those shields. So if you are using Osa to plant, you need to make sure that you are very careful, that you got cover behind you. Something like that. Somebody that is going to watch your booty. Alright? So, like we said, decent buff coming in for this patch notes here for our boy orcs here. Alright? And then we got another one, okay, another operator, all right, Sens, who is on attack. All right, now this in all honesty was not too big of a change, but I will say it definitely does make him a little more viable here on the field. Okay, we're gonna be talking about our boy here on attack. We're gonna be talking about our boy Sens. All right, our boy Sens here. All right. Like we said, we're going to be going through the loadouts and stuff like that. So PO-5-9, that is what he runs, and a 417 for the primary. Okay, for a pistol, he runs at SDP 9mm. All right, for the gadget, he runs a hard breach, or you can go with a claymore, or you can go with a frag. All right, now this is what we mean by he has got a decent buff, in my opinion. I mean, I will say you might just see this man picked a little more in rounds. His projector system has now gone from 3. It used to be at 3. It has now gone from 3 all the way up to 4. So now you have a little more wiggle room to sit there and actually use those, maybe in other situations. Maybe you want to pocket one for, a last ditch plant or something like that. Okay, maybe you need to get your teammates through corridors. Okay, things like that. This makes him a little more viable, gives him a little more wiggle room inside the field of play. So I will say, I would not be surprised if you start seeing Sens picked a little more, just because of that one factor of him getting that one more. Just him getting that one more projector system, okay? It's the same thing. It's the same thing with like Ying, okay? Remember when we had Ying that got that buff, and Ying went from 3 Candelas up to 4 Candelas? Yeah, it's kind of like that. I will say, Ying went up to 4 Candelas, and then for a little bit we seen a spike in her because she got 4 Candelas. All right, the same thing here with our boy Sens. All right, now. I will say, because I'm pretty sure, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a couple seasons since we've played, but I will say, I believe Ying still has 4 of these, so it would not shock me It would not shock me if you've seen those two operators played side by side to each other, because they both have 4 of these utilities and they both blind the enemy unless there is a warden. So this also, I also will say, that leads into another topic. Warden lost his 1.5. Warden lost his 1.5. The thing is does this mean that we might just see a Warden coming back in to the gameplay? Will Warden make that return back into the lineup? Because ever since he's lost that 1.5, Warden has not been played as much by people. So will this bring Warden back up into the ranks? This is something we'll have to see, something we'll have to, watch very closely as people start rolling into the patch notes here, okay? Or as people, start playing games after this patch note have came out. Like I said, will Warden make that comeback? Let us know down in the comments what you think about that at the end of the video. If you guys stayed this long, we do just want to say, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new. Alright, and then getting into the gadget balancing, we're going to touch on that just a little bit here, okay? A couple changes for that, alright? We're going to go over ballistic shields, alright? Explosion threshold to trigger the guard break, alright? That was at 50. That has now been reduced to 30 HP, okay? Impact grenade, okay? Damage reduced. Damage reduced from 60 to 40. Oh my god. Reduced explosion radius from 3 meters to 2 meters. So we haven't had buffs to any of these. The impacts have not been buffed and ballistics have not been buffed. We have seen 2 nerfs with gadgets now. So this is the one thing we're gonna have to go into games. We're gonna have to figure out. Okay, let's see how bad this the impacts really have gotten. All right. I mean, I will say if frags being nerfed wasn't a bad enough nerf, now we're nerfing impacts. Okay, so like we said, from 60 down to 40 HP. Okay, is the damage you're gonna lose from an impact now. So, and some of these operators, they roll around, especially like if they got rook armor on. Some of these operators are rolling around with 140 health. So I will say, 140, 150 health at times. So I will say, an impact doing 40, I'm going to be honest, it's not going to take 2 impacts to almost kill somebody now. Okay, even after 2 impacts, somebody still might have a decent amount of health on them. So you do have to take that into consideration now when we're throwing impacts. All right, and we also have to take into consideration the explosion radius of the impacts. The explosion radius of the impacts now being dropped down from 3 all the way down to 2. Okay, we got to take that into consideration. So you're going to want to make sure that when we're throwing impacts, that those impacts are, as close to the person that we're trying to get as possible, because that I'm telling you, numbers in Siege means so much, even if it's by 1 tick. Okay, we've seen that before. 1 tick can mean a whole lot. You take 1 point off, let's say Send, for example. You take 1 point off his gun. A lot of people may not use him anymore because he may just not be viable, because there's so many operators and so many things in this game that factor into a lot of what happens. So, like we said, wanted to go over the patch notes with you guys, fill you guys in on what's going on with the Year 9 Season 1. Alright, was Season 1 1.3 patch notes, I should say. Alright, we did that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, like we said before, make sure you guys hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And we will see you guys in the next video. It's been your boy FOR-GIT Gaming coming at you with another Rainbow Six Siege video. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys do me a favor. Go ahead and check out the Twitch channel. We play Siege almost every day on our Twitch channel. So I will say, if you guys are into Siege content, make sure you follow us over there. Like we said, like, subscribe, follow us on Twitch. We'll see you guys in the next video.